Welcome to Time Flies with me, Amber Elliott, political editor of Total Politics magazine, and I'm pleased to be joined by Matt Hancock, who is a Conservative MP and also author of Masters of Nothing. Welcome. Now, we have 5 minutes, so we're going to get straight on with it. Right, who's better at maths, you or your co-author, Nadeem Sahawi?
Good question. I don't know, we haven't tested ourselves, but one of the important insights of the book is the need for humility, so maybe I should give it to him.
You should do some sort of multiplication test or something like that. Are you basically George Osborne in waiting?
No, I'm Matthew Hancock in existence.
Have you enjoyed working for George, though?
It's a great pleasure to work with him. He's a very good boss and very witty and amusing and insightful. So a great pleasure. What's
his worst habit?
He doesn't have any bad habits at all.
What's your worst habit?
Oh, being late.
What? When are we all going to stop blaming Labour for the economy?
I doubt that we will for a very, very long time because they created a very, very big mess.
But shouldn't we all be a bit nicer to Gordon Brown now?
I think that he is a master of nothing. He was there at the helm during the great boom and during the crash that followed it, and the whole of politics and everything that's going on in the Western world is happening in the context of where he left the British economy.
Has he read your book?
I don't think he'd enjoy it very much because it pins the explanation very clearly on the human nature behind both the bankers but also those who designed the regulatory structure that failed so spectacularly.
What have David Cameron and George Osborne said about your book?
Well, they've both been very nice about it.
Surprisingly.
So, and more importantly, many of the thoughts in it are there in government policy. For instance, on regulating the banks more so that they have to be more responsible and separating out their investment arms from the retail banking, which is the plumbing of the economy.
You used to work for the Bank of England. Do you feel that it needs some kind of reform, and if so, what?
Well, there's an enormous reform going through, which I think is right, which is to give more judgment to and clout to policymakers to be able to take the punch bowl away from the banks as things get going, because it was clear that just setting interest rates was ineffective at managing the economy, and we need to also look at balance sheets and the amount of debt in the economy.
Apart from what is going through at the moment, are there any other reforms you'd like to see looked at?
Well, there's a bigger picture question raised in the book, which is that it's human behaviour that's behind booms and busts, and that means that on the one hand we'll never get rid of them, and it's hubris to say that we've ended boom and bust. But also we need to look with more humility at how we manage the economy, understanding how difficult it is to do that, to try to stop this size and scale of collapse from happening again.
You talk a lot about rational and irrational behaviour in relation to the crash. What's the most irrational thing you've ever done?
Oh, good question. I did try to walk to the North Pole once.
How did that go?
I got frostbite.
Oh gosh, right. Hospitalised or just?
Yeah, no, it was quite serious, really. I can still feel the arthritis in my finger. So it was irrational because I was trying to prove that if you put your mind to anything, you can always achieve it. And while we did play the most northerly game of cricket on record, we didn't make it to the North Pole.
Bankers, evil or misunderstood?
Too often they leave their ethics and their morals at the door of the bank and behave as if what you do when you're inside a company shouldn't be judged by the same standards as what you do in the rest of your life. And that is a false assumption that needs to be challenged. So too often unthinking.
Final question, complete this sentence. Time flies when?
You're having fun and spending it with your family.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Matt Hancock.